Hello and welcome to another week of the weekly support and clarity from Spirit for you. So I want to thank you for joining me. I hope you've had a fantastic week and been enjoying yourself, getting into summer and this incredible warm weather that we're having. Or otherwise, if you're on the other side of the world, getting into that change of season and getting into winter. I hope you're really enjoying that transition. Always good to have a bit of a change and to go with that flow, those cycles that are occurring, which we're going to talk a little bit more about. Okay, so so we're doing this from the 27th November, the 27th on the Monday to December the 3rd on the Sunday. So how I work is I work with my guides and all those in spirit who love me, and I ask them to come close to give you what you need for the upcoming week, any tips, techniques, exercises which may come along with that. So they just told me, why not, when you are listening to this video, to ask your guides to come in. To come in close with you and to either share with you some more information or to help you to navigate and to guide and get some more clarification on what are the most important points in this video that are going to really specifically help you. And this is going to start opening up a clearer channel between you and spirit, between you and yourself. And what I call a great spirit inside you, which people refer to as source energy, all that is God, and just really connecting to our energy inside of you. So let's see what's coming up. Okay. All right. So they are talking about cycles, and they're saying that there are many cycles as we go through life. The stage within, growing up into adulthood, into later adulthood, and into, being elderly. But there's also a lot of other cycles in which we aren't so much aware of as such. Things like the weather, autumn and winter and summer and spring and all that sort of stuff. But there's cycles that we go through personally as well. And some of those personal cycles actually work into a society level. They also work into a global level as well. But being able to be more in touch with yourself and to actually recognize where you are in whatever cycle. And you can go into it as deeply as you want to, or you can go into it just, minimally every now and then. And that could be, the minimal could be that you just really ask yourself, where am I at the moment? Am I energized? Am I not? Am I, feeling like I've got a purpose? I want to do things, It's really, and then really asking yourself, is what I'm feeling really matching what I really want to do and what I really want to create? Now, sometimes it doesn't match, and it's really good to persevere or push through. Anyone that's been in a gym knows what I'm talking about, because there's days that you just don't want to go to the gym. But after your workout, you go, I'm really glad I did that. And with work as well, getting shit done. But also there's times in which doing this and pushing through is not actually good for you, because you're in sort of more of a, that cycle within yourself at that time when you need to rest, where you need to take some time out. And so, being 100% on point accurate with this, it can be difficult. And I know that women can have a little bit more of an understanding about themselves with their bodies and with their cycles and where they're at energetically wise, where they're at, how they're feeling, how their body's feeling. It's just more in touch with their feelings. And they're because of their monthly cycles, they're able to flow with that a little bit more and get to know that. But it's that thing too about really asking yourself around, where have I been as well? because that actually sometimes gives you a lot more awareness of actually where you're going to. And then from there, where you might be going to again. But just asking yourself at that time, where have I been yesterday, last week, the last few weeks? Has it been more of an upward trend, a downward trend, a sort of, flat line within myself? And then really giving yourself some space and time to be able to navigate that and to be, more caring and more nurturing with yourself about that, not just trying to keep push all the time, which is saying quite a lot of people out there are doing. Whether this is trying to create some global change, whether it's about education, whether it's about work, a whole lot of different things, that people are not giving themselves the time out that they deserve. And they're asking you to ask yourself how much of that sort of rejuvenation period or that rejuvenation time or part of your cycle have you given yourself over the last month? Because it does go on a weekly basis, it goes on a daily, on a monthly, and so forth. But just having a little bit more of an idea of that and being kind to yourself where you're at, and loving yourself and being respectful. Treat yourself as your best friend. Or as one of my friends says, treat yourself like you would treat your most favourite client. Big love, Kathy. So yeah, because it's really important. I don't know if I quite got that quote right, but you get the gist anyway. So we'll get on with the weekly reading. We'll see what's coming up for it. Okay. So they're telling me we're just going to do the whole weekly reading in the one lot. I never know what's going to happen. So this is I kind of hear it as I'm saying this as well. Okay, so if anyone's ever been to the bowling alley or been to dodgem cars, it's showing the bowling alley where they put the cushions in the gutters for the little kids, and the ball goes boom, 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 boom down the alleyway towards the pins. That's kind of what's going on with a lot of people at the moment and where they're at. It's like they're pushing themselves to one side, as hard as they can, maybe pressuring themselves, and then they're going, oh, that's too much, I'm going to go right over to the other side. But it's about finding that flow and that balance. It's not about pushing yourself so hard that you basically destroy yourself or that you conked out for a couple of days. And it's not about sort of, not pushing yourself, but also about sort of being too extreme on one side or the other. And sort of recognizing where you're at and what's going on and what's going to be most beneficial for you as well. And so, it's good to be able to have a little bit of reflection on this and almost kind of step back from yourself and ask yourself, what would I say to, someone I really love? What advice would I give them? And there's quite a few therapists out there. If you are a therapist, what would you say to one of your clients that you really love and that you really want the absolute best for? What would you say to them? And it's about heeding those words, take that advice. Because it's really easy to give advice to another person, but if you really allow yourself, you can stop, get some perspective and actually give yourself some advice. And then the big one, actually follow it through. That's really important because, it's a good thing to be able to say this and that and to recognize it. But if you're not taking action on this, it's not really going to help you. And, there is a little bit of a kind of a lull at the moment that we're coming out of, that's been through this year and through the last half of the year as well. And it's okay for you to allow yourself to, have some time to really renegotiate within yourself or realign where am I at the moment and really what do I want to do. And so how many times do you actually do that? Because they're showing me that a lot of people have a very particular path and a very particular structure in how they're going to reach that goal. And when they're not following that goal, or when it's not happening the way they set that out to happen, back whenever you made that goal, you get disappointed, you get despondent, you get angry, you get upset, you get anxiety, all this sort of stuff. But the thing is, when you made that particular goal, or that sort of pathway, as you move through it, you've actually developed and changed yourself as well. And as you developed and changed yourself, it's like that might need some realigning or reshuffling. And as well, it's about actually asking yourself, where am I at the moment? Where am I at within myself? Where am I at within the priority within this as well, and within myself? And it's about just being really honest and really kind, and just asking yourself. Sometimes it's okay to put something off, because you go, okay, I'm just not there at the moment. I can put it off. And then it's really up to you to just be accountable to your actions. Yeah, I'm going to put it off, and I'm going to get back to it tomorrow or next week. That's okay. That's fine. Be kind with yourself about this. And if you're going to do it, do it. If you're not, don't. It's quite simple, quite easy. That it's really about sort of recognizing where, what's going to benefit you most at this time, and connecting with self, and ask your guides as well. What about this? What about that? And getting a little bit of feedback, possibly, not always, but possibly from some people around you. What feels like the most unconditional, the most generous, the most loving, the most sort of objective feedback that you've got. And you might take a few nuggets out of that and then assimilate it, let it percolate within yourself. You make more sense of it, and you go, cool, all right, I know what to do now. So this is really about honouring yourself and honouring where you're at, and really being okay if your plans have changed, depending on where you're at as well, and what you're really looking for, what's important. So, okay, they're telling me, stop right there. We're going to leave it there. So if you'd like a session with me, all the links are below. You check out davidmjohn.com. I've got my calendar link there as well, so you can just book yourself in online. And if you want to have a consult with me, just let me know. If you email me, please leave a contact number, because sometimes my emails, I don't know what happens. So please leave me a secondary source so I can get in contact with you. Okay, remember to be awesome, and just be awesome, be yourself, and have fun. All right, see you next week. Big love. Bye-bye.